Massive attacks devastated parts of Ukraine and Russia as the two nations traded overnight blows. Russia launched dozens of drones at Ukraine, though the vast majority were shot down or destroyed. Local media say 4 were killed and over 100 people were injured. The bombardment followed a week of increased long-range attacks across Ukraine, including a missile strike on a military academy and hospital on Tuesday that killed 55 and wounded hundreds. Meanwhile, Kyiv has continued to launch its own offensive against Russia, reportedly reclaiming territory in parts of the country and hitting an ammunition warehouse. The Azov Brigade said they had held their position against Russian attacks in New York, a Ukrainian settlement in Donetsk. They claim to have regained control of part of the settlement despite what they previously described as a catastrophic situation. At a bilateral meeting with Ukrainian President Zelensky on the sidelines of an economic forum in Lake Como, Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni stressed the importance of continued support for Ukraine. Meloni said this was in Italy's national interest, not only to protect the rule of law, but also in protest of the ability of a country which is stronger militarily to invade its neighbor.
Penso che sull'Ucraina non dobbiamo mollare. E lo dico con estrema chiarezza e lo dico anche sapendo che chiaramente c'è un'opinione pubblica che è spaventata, preoccupata legittimamente e giustamente dalla guerra.
Zelensky asked for more weapons from his Western allies, the same request he made to the German Chancellor Olaf Scholz last week. Meloni reiterated how central support of Ukraine was to Italy's G7 presidency, as well as her commitment to a lasting peace.
Although Italy's culture minister has been replaced, this marks the first significant change within Meloni's cabinet after 2 years in power. What led Meloni to make this decision was the lack of clarity surrounding the amount of information the alleged advisor to the culture minister had about sensitive topics, such as the upcoming culture summit of the Group of 7. Concerns have been raised about potential breaches of the meeting's security measures, as well as how this could impact Italy's credibility on the international stage and the standing of Italy's government. Approval ratings for the Prime Minister's leadership remain high. Recently, Meloni told his inner circle that mistakes at this stage are not allowed. Speaking on Saturday at the International Chernobyl Forum, Meloni described the issue as a private matter that had attracted public interest, clearly referring to the love affair between the former minister and Boccia, also adding that the government has not been shaken by what has happened. But the case is not closed. Not only the former minister could be investigated for possible misuse of public funds and disclosure of confidential information, but Italy's audit court is also reviewing the matter. Giorgio Orlandi for Euronews in Rome.
Thousands of people took to the streets across France to protest President Emmanuel Macron's decision to appoint centre-right politician Michel Barnier as Prime Minister. Left-wing parties are accusing Macron of ignoring the results of the recent legislative elections after he refused to pick the candidate of the new Popular Front alliance, which came out on top in the July vote. Barnier has emphasised the importance of healthcare reform, particularly improving access to care and addressing the issue of medical deserts in both urban and rural areas. Protests against what is seen by demonstrators as a presidential power grab were set to take place in more than 150 cities across France. The demonstrations were organised by the France Unbowed group as well as several student unions.